Hello everyone. Welcome back to another recap chat. This is CBiz TV Media. This is Irene. And of course, we talk faith, love, and trends. Here's another 90-day recap. 90 Day Fiance is a reality show following couples. One person's from the US, the other's from another country. They basically have 90 days to get married legally through the visa process. It can be a lot, but on top of that, there's other issues. There's drama, there's lies, there's dishonesty, and there's trying to just acclimate to each other's cultures and mindsets. It's a lot. It's 90 Day Fiance, the original. If we're talking about this time, they got many spinoffs. We're talking about the original. And let's get back into these couples, guys. So, Katie and the Bachelorettes. This is how it starts off. Katie, of course, is with Josh, and she's getting ready for a bachelorette party wearing a black sleeveless ensemble, strappy. And he was trying to tell her that she looks nice. I think he was trying to tell her that while he was doing something in the apartment, but she lets him know, hey, this is gonna be, my bachelorette party. We're going to a funeral bar because it's gonna be death to my you-know-what phase, my HO phase, basically. So he says he doesn't really know how to feel about that, but he wishes her the best. They share some kisses and some mistaken slobber. Yuck. Now she's with her girls. They're all dressed in black. Some of them have on those little black fascinator hats, but the theme is all black, right? They talk about one of Katie's crazy hookups, and she starts talking about how she doesn't know how she's going to be with the same person forever, and she wants to open the door to an open relationship with Josh. And her friends are a little bit shocked, and they're kind of asking her more questions, kind of dive a little bit deeper, and then they're also warning her that this may not be the best idea, because once you open that door, you can't close it back. Other feelings may be involved. She wants to open the door, but the friends were like, well, what if he does he get to do it too? And then she was kind of feeling weird about the fact that he can also have an open relationship. Well, that's not fair. You can't go one way and not go the other. So this lady who feels that her children should be raised Lutheran, that Josh will probably go to hell because, at least that's what her mom said. Because he has not confessed Jesus. She has these demands on him, some of them religious, yet she wants to open her marriage, which I'm pretty sure that's not in the Bible. So I guess she doesn't have to go to hell. I'm just saying. I hope that didn't sound too bad. So she says she doesn't know how far she wants to go. Her friends kind of making her question it, but she's like, she doesn't know how far she wants it to go, because they're like, well, you just want to make out with people? Like, she's saying, I don't really know, but I'm just going to open this question and pose it to Josh. And this close to the wedding, it could be a deal breaker and a big issue. He already doesn't like you making out with other people as it is. She said she didn't want to put herself in a position where she would make mistakes and apologize again. She just wants to keep it open. So if she makes mistakes or so-called mistakes, it's a part of the package deal. I don't know. This is getting pretty messy, Katie. I don't know if you should be a bride to anyone right now. It's a lot of questionable things going on with you that I really think, and I'm pretty sure most people really think you need to work on. I'm not a fan of open marriage. If you guys have listened to my channel or, some of the things I've talked about before, because of my faith and what I believe, if you're just going to be open like that, just don't get married. At the end of the day, that's what I say. What are you guys' thoughts on that and just open marriage in general? That's one show that I don't think TLC has done. They've done Sister Wives or whatever, and Brother Husbands, but open marriage, they haven't tackled that one yet. Edward and Marissa continue their conversation about not being 100%. Basically, she's not. And her friends have told her, if you're not 100%, don't get married. He's surprised. He believes that they could just move forward and try to work things out. She thinks he just has wishful thinking. He's so in love with her, he doesn't want to lose her. And he says that he's been listening to her feelings for the last 45 days and she's been ignoring his. He says, he's kind of saying, like, why throw away the last 2 years over these last 45 days of unsurety? He demands an answer right now. She's saying, well, I can't give you an answer right now. I just can tell you that I'm not 100% and I don't have an answer right now. And he's saying, kind of saying we're supposed to be fighting for each other at this point. That's what he thought they were. And I have a question. Can you actually be 100% about anyone? Only way I can say, because of my faith, is if God comes to me in a dream or something, says this person is your spouse and you should marry this person. And that's like the only way I feel I would be 100%. I don't think anyone's 100% about anyone. I mean, there's going to be some issues. There's maybe some minor things or just something that's not going to make you be 100%. If we all waited for 100% surety in marriages or whatever, a lot of people wouldn't be getting married. And love is not always enough, and I think that's kind of what Marissa was saying. So they got into an argument that evening. She went back to He went back to her place in New York. He decided to sleep on the couch. Then they started to argue again and about her ex, and he's like, well, why is she so unsure? There's got to be somebody else in this picture. So he says that he looked through her phone and then he took it back and said he didn't. He was just testing her. Then she believes that he, has a manipulative side to him, that she is even more skeptical and even is losing more faith in the fact that she'll marry this guy. So they talk again and they argue at the restaurant. And he's saying, even though, what happened, I apologize. I guess that I went through your phone. But we're still on this 100% point. So what is it? So she says she's going to need about 2 weeks. They need to make a list. So they kind of made a list right there. 2 weeks to figure out if you want to be with someone. I'm not sure how she comes up with the 2 weeks. Because, I see you get into an argument. Does it really take you 2 weeks to cool down and clear your head? That's, to me, a long time. I know she travels back and forth. Maybe she has something big coming up and she can't focus on that. I'm like, 2 weeks is a while. If you're mad at your partner, maybe a couple of days. I know you guys are trying to get married and that's a bigger decision, but still it's 2 weeks. How's she coming up with that? Anyway, on the list, he wants affection, and she's aggravated and upset. He wants to kind of know why. Just feel him in, and just not give him the silent treatment. And she thinks that her issue is that she wants him to cut down on his jealousy. He shouldn't have this jealous streak, and she wants him to develop his own lifestyle and his own independence. I believe that's going to happen. Again, he's only been there for 45 days. So the whole situation with the ex, I do think that's an issue. She'd been talking with her ex and she's saying she's still friends with them and there's still benefits to the relationship. That totally just made me think of friends with benefits. So I don't know if that's what they had. I don't know what she's thinking and why she's still trying to connect with this person that's so-called now her friend. And did he know that they were friends? I think he may have, but he still doesn't like the fact that she's talking with this guy. Especially at this poignant time in their relationship where she's not 100%. So they're both kind of giving each other an ultimatum. And what do you guys think about talking to your ex, even if they were friends before? It's kind of giving a little bit of what's going on with Rashid and Mallory. So as far as still talking with your friend, but to me, I feel like there's something else going on, because I feel like she's being too secretive. Why does he have to look at your phone and know that you were talking to your friend, which is an ex? And why are you so upset that he went through your phone as if you have something to hide? Now, if you guys have an agreement where you guys are going to go through each other's phone, okay. But if you guys haven't really discussed it, I kind of feel like he might have a bit of a reason, especially during this time, to do some investigating. That's a whole nother question. Is it okay to look in your partner's phone? If they are aware, yes. But if they say, my phone is off limits, to me, that's a red flag. Why is your phone off limits? Now, I can see partially she may be talking stuff about him because she doesn't know what to do next with him in the relationship. She may be texting her friends and he may see that, messaging people. Okay, I can see why you wouldn't want him to see that, but I still feel like it should be an open book when you are in that type of relationship, to the point where you guys are about to get married and I can't look in your phone. It's like, when we get married, I should be able to look in your phone. This is what I feel. I should actually be able to look at your phone while we are engaged, at least. Now, that's a whole nother topic that we could talk about in the future. But yeah, what do you guys think about this whole scenario with Edward and Marissa? I feel like Marissa looks more incriminating now, like she has something to hide, and she's more upset at him for what he did. But I'm kind of looking at her like, what else do you have going on, Marissa? What do we not see here? Is there some secrets that we don't know? So Thomas and Paula go to their cake tasting, and he says he needs a safe cake. And I get it. I believe he has celiac disease, so they need a vegan cake. I think it's a vegan and gluten-free cake, because she also doesn't eat meat and meat products. So they find this perfect place. They're tasting the cakes. I don't even realize or if they really enjoyed it, but she said she had so much sugar that, she was getting sleepy when they got in the car. I don't even know how good the cakes tasted. I feel like I didn't really get, a good taste testing vibe or moment with them like I did Katie and Josh. So maybe they just weren't trying to promote that place. I don't know. Anyway, they got into the argument about the strong deodorant she sprayed again, and that was before they got to the cake place. Now they're leaving and going back, and they're talking about the fact that she's going to invite her 8 family members to stay in that little apartment. And he's worried that they're going to spray deodorants too and perfumes. And he's like, this is a really big deal breaker, because he needed a safe cake. And his apartment is a safe place. And that's like the place where he can get away from all of these air irritants and what other allergies he may have. And she's going to kind of ruin that. She's not really being sensitive to how he feels about it. And he might have to be one of those guys in the bubble boy, because he can't take any outside things. I'm not trying to make fun of him. There's people that go through that. There's people in my life that I know go through something similar for different reasons. But I think she should be a little more sensitive to it and stop joking so much about it. To me, I feel like they need to live in separate places. Bottom line. But anyway, he's like, well, 8 people are staying with us. There'll be 10 people in this little apartment. She's like, well, he says, let's get them a room or something, which makes all the sense in the world. But no, I want to spend time with my family. Well, why don't you go in that room and stay with them? That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe you just need to give Mr. Thomas a break from all your air irritants and whatever other issues that you bring to the table, which I really don't see that much. The main thing is the air irritants. And I know she didn't want to smell the meat he was cooking, but no one talks about that issue anymore. So these guys don't really have too many issues, in my opinion. So I think you guys can find a way to figure this out. I don't think it's that hard. Mallory and Rashid So they're on the outs. They're still after that argument of her revealing, hey, I'm not sure if I want to have kids. So in her unsurety, he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. She went horseback riding to clear her mind. Things aren't really getting better. He's doing his carpentry, and he FaceTimes his brother. And the brother's like, hey, yeah, she should have told you about this before you came all the way to America. So they're coming together to look for wedding venues. They don't have much time left, but they're both upset at each other. And he's like, why are we even doing this? And she's like, we don't have much time. So they find this beautiful space. They have a lot of beautiful outdoor spaces there, gardens, and there's even a fountain. So there's a lot of different spots on this grounds that they can have their nuptials. And, the people are smiling and happy and trying to show them everything. And they're kind of both looking weird and funny and, kind of trying to wipe the smiles off these people's faces or something like that. But they're like, okay, we'll give you a moment here. You guys can talk about this. So, okay, so they start arguing again about the baby situation and, why she didn't tell him. And he told his brother, and that's what they said. And then she's like, but I love you. And he's like, well, first the prenup. Now you don't want to have any babies with me. Do you really love me? He's not seeing the love. And he's like, no, baby, I'm out of this relationship. And she's upset that he has no empathy for what she's going through or how she feels about it. Honestly, I'll say I understand that he should have some empathy, but it's a cultural issue and decision. A lot of people in a lot of cultures, and even in the U.S., one of the reasons that they want to get married is to have families and have kids. That's a huge deal breaker for a lot of people. So for you not to talk about this scenario, that's on you. For you to do all of this to get him to your country, invest all this money, all this time. I mean, this is something that you should have told him. Now, you said you might need a couple years, but now you're saying you don't even know at all. So it's very misleading, and I think it's wrong. She acts like it was okay that she did it this way. She needed to see him face to face. Whatever, you could have saw him face to face when you went up there to go pick him up. I think you probably visited him previously when you seen him face to face. Then you should have told him. So she just wanted to trap him into the scenario, and then, he doesn't have much choice but to marry her. That's not how you do things. All right. How many of you guys think that Mallory is wrong? Please raise your hand. Maxwell and Aisha. So they're going to have another family outing. They're on a boat. They're going to have a family beach day. And Rod says after their conversation the other day with Maxwell that he's even more skeptical of him. He found out that he's a used car salesman, so he's probably using his skills to his advantage. Aisha wants to come up with a wedding plan, so the family's talking. They want to blend their cultural backgrounds. So Maxwell's dad says something about a white wedding, and Rod doesn't understand what that means because he's not white. And he's like, well, can she have an Igbo wedding? He's like, that's not possible because she is not a Nigerian, so there's no way that she could have an Igbo wedding. So they have to do something customary to their different belief systems. Mom says she's going to be wearing a big headdress and money's going to be thrown at her. And Aisha says that reminds me of a strip club, but she's not taking anything off. They won't have alcohol at the wedding because they're both Christians. Rod says he's going to bring his own bottle because he knows he's going to have to get drunk to be at this wedding. Maxwell views Rod as a bully, and I can agree. So as the family are enjoying themselves on the beach, the two of them talk again, man to man, separately, and he starts talking again about how people from their country scam Americans, and he's like, we aren't scammers. Maybe 4 out of 10 people here do those type of scams. That's not my lifestyle. I don't do that. I modestly take care of myself. And he lets him know that Aisha's all he's looking for in so many different ways. And he's like, well, what are you're just trying to be like a used car salesman and sell me this pitch. And he's saying, no, I'm just honestly telling you who I am. He said, Aisha's a smart woman. If you don't trust me, trust her. He's like, well, she was smart before this. And he's saying that, he has a lot of potential because Rod is saying he's not established. We're saying, well, she sees the potential in me and I have a lot of potential. And Rod's like, well, at her age and point in her life, she can't just marry potential. And he's just saying he's giving his word that he is the man that he says he is. But Rod is not really giving him much space to win this situation. I think that Rod should give him a little bit of grace. Talk to him just like a man to man. Give him some respect and see who he really is. If you keep coming at somebody accusatory, you're going to get that back from him. But Maxwell is still holding himself actually more manly and more masculine than Rod is. And he's proving to be more manly than him, even as a younger man, younger than Aisha, and I'm sure much younger than Rod. So I commend you, Maxwell, and I do hope that you are all that you say you are. Considering your family background, looks like his family has his back. They're supportive of him. So I don't feel like he's just out here scamming and he's all on his own. Like, I see people that are all on their own or they live a certain lifestyle where they can be scammers, but he has the support of his family. They're not going to throw him under the bus. They've been looking out for him, I'm sure. They all help each other. So he doesn't give me the appearance that he is that guy. Is he perfect? I don't know. Does he have his own issues? It's very possible. But I still hope the best for him and Aisha, and I really don't like Rod. And finally, we have Shay and Annabelle. So they're doing this some type of Zumba in the morning, and he didn't stretch, so he got this crazy leg cramp. And for some reason, Anna's like, let me cheer you up by doing this shower. So she's going to get her scrub brush out as we've seen before. No, but they show too much again. They're trying to hurt my eyes. These two have a romantic shower together. They're all kissing, and I don't want to see that. I just don't. And I'm glad that it was cut, that we didn't get to see too much. But I saw enough. And I do just want everybody to hide their eyes during these love scenes, okay? Anyway, after this, they talk about Allison and the church fight and argument that they had. And, he says he wants to make it right. He wants Anna to try to make it right. And Anna's like, well, she's a spoiled brat. Excuse me. And Shay's like, she lost her mom. His first wife had addictions, and so she's no longer with us. And she's just been traumatized with the fact that her mom is gone. And, people are saying that I'm too soft on her, but that's part of the reason. She needs a mother figure. Can you step up and be that for her? You guys could talk like mother and daughter. Can you do that for her? So the three of them are going out. I'm not sure where they're going at this point. It's dark. But anyway, they argue again, and Anna's quiet. Shay is, taking up for wifey to be. And he's saying you guys need to squash the situation. And Allison just calls her a bee in the car. So Anna's really upset at this point. They're going to the wedding dress spot. I thought they were doing a wedding dress fitting, but it turns out Anna has her own dress that she got for like $250. It's a nice looking dress. I think it fits her well. It has her vibe to it. So she just needs to get the veil. So that's why she's at the wedding shop and trying on different veils. Allison's just sitting there looking PO'd. Like, she doesn't want to be there, and that's when Anna says she doesn't really want to be here with me. So, because they were married before, again, she found her dress online for that good rate that she got. And, the lady that's helping her, she's like, girl, why don't you try this, girl? Do this, girl. It's just kind of funny with her little accent. She keeps calling Anna girl. But she's like, well, I'm just gonna leave you two alone because she can see the tension and how Allison is just looking sick over there. So they talk again, and Shay's telling her earlier, tell her who you are, let her get to know you. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna let her get to know who I really am. And she says she does want them to be family. She tells her about her first marriage, and she does apologize for what happened. And she lets us all know, too, their first husband cheated, had another child with someone else. She was working abroad for 7 years, and this is what happened. She was making good money that she was sending back. So she said she didn't know that she was going to find another person to treat her well, but Allison's father treats her well, and she just wants to be in this relationship and be kind. And she says she'll try to be a stepmom to her because she knows her mom is no longer with us. And she's like, yeah, my mom used to be the person I always call whenever I was just having a bad day or just anything going on, and it'll be nice to have someone like that. She says, I'll be there for you like your mom, and can we move on? So they kind of hug each other. She says, I'm going to be there for you when you need to cry or whatever. They kind of have this weird hug, but as they hug longer, it gets a little less weird, but it was a happy ending for these two, and hopefully it will all work out for Shay, Annabelle, Allison, and all that. I'm not sure why she wants to be with Shay. The main perks is probably his finances. I don't know what other reason. I'm sorry, Shay. I don't get it. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. What does he really offer? I guess she likes the showers. I guess she likes the cleaning. I don't know. I really don't know. What do you guys think? Do you love Shay and Annabelle? What do you see in Shay? Please let me know. Please drop those comments. Give me a different perspective because I'm not sure I'm seeing it. But as long as they're happy, hey, I applaud them. That's good for them. Everyone deserves happiness. That's what I think. Thoughts, comments, questions, let me know. Again, you can drop them below. You can email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com or cbizmedia1@gmail.com. And check us out on other platforms at cbiztvmedia.com. We will talk to you guys again next time. All the best and God bless.